16 years to save a deposit. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. Grab your stein of coffee because we have another article, this time from Mortgage Business, from research of Finder, about how long it's taking to save for a house deposit. Now, I haven't looked at the article in any detail. Here's the question I put to you. Are they going to take account of household income, or is it just going to be individual income? Because we're not living in the good old days where only one person worked in a household and they would be able to, usually the father, be able to support the entire family. Now, you both need to work. In the homeschooling community, there are a lot of people where the mothers stay home, the fathers work, but those families make a conscious decision. And there are actually some savings doing it like that too. So let's see, because this whole 16 years, it's not as bad as it seems when you're both working. The thing is, just average housing in certain cities like Sydney is not for average people anymore. You need to be earning a lot more. You need 2 people on 6 figures plus. So 16 years of savings are needed for a house deposit, according to Finder. First home buyers are required to save for over a decade on average to afford a deposit on a home, new research has found. Our analysis from comparison site Finder, or an analysis, has found that younger first home buyers need at least 16 years to save a deposit on the average house and 12 years for the average unit if they started saving today. According to the research, this would mean prospective first home buyers would need to save $299,000 for a house deposit and $188,000 for a unit on average. That's nuts. 300 grand just for a deposit. But then again, if you're earning $100,000, that's 3 years' income is your deposit. If you've got 2 people in a couple, each earning $100,000, that's 1.5 years of your family's income as a deposit. The analysis result were based on 3.5% annual growth on home prices, a 3% average savings rate, and a 3.5% growth rate in the median household income. So they're basing it on household income. Then why is it taking 16 years? Because then how much are they saving? The analysis also assumed that households saved 25% of their income after expenditures on rent, groceries, utilities, internet, phone, and transport. Okay, there's the problem. You got to save more. You've got to save more than 25%. It sucks, but I suspect this is why, with the coming interest rate cliff, people are not going to be as bad a situation as many realize, because they've probably been through so much shit just saving to get a deposit to even get into the market. According to a Finder, the amount of time needed to save for a deposit was calculated from how expensive ongoing rental costs were compared to income. The research revealed first home buyers in New South Wales faced the direst situation, where households averaged around 20 years of savings for a house deposit of $470,000. I mean, just think about that. Here's a point to put to you. 12% of your money is getting locked away in super into your retirement. So imagine if 12% of your entire income you could save as well. Not after all your expenses, not after tax, just that 12% you could save. This is why I was a big fan of the Coalition's proposal to allow people to take a big chunk of money out of their super, and then if they ever sold a house, that portion of it and the capital growth needs to be reinvested. Kind of allowing people to use their own money for what they want to use it for. Maybe they don't want to have it sitting there forever. I mean, look at it. They're having to now encourage people to save, to spend their superannuation money. This is just... It's not going to get any easier here in Australia, guys. Honestly, I've got very little confidence that housing is going to be affordable in our lifetime. So, following this was... did I lose a bit of data? I probably did. You know what? Let's jump to the actual old school article. Boom. We'll see what we missed here. Come on, load up. Come on. It feels like I got dial-up again, guys. It really feels like I've got dial-up again. Here we go. Yep. We'll sign in. what was it? So the research revealed first-home buyers in New South Wales face the direst situation where households averaged around 20 years to save for a $470,000 deposit. $500,000 just for a deposit. Now, here's a question for you guys, and I'll put it up as a poll. How many of you bought your house for less than $470,000? Because I did. Sure, mine was a shit box that pretty much was us paying for the land, but still. Following this was Tasmania, where households required to save 17 years, amounting to $226,000, while potential buyers in Victoria would need 16 years to save $326,000 for the average house deposit. For South Australians, a deposit of $211,000 requires 15 years of savings on average, while Queenslanders and ACT first home buyers need 14 years for a $232,000 deposit and 12 years for a $312,000 deposit. So this is showing you how much they're expecting housing to grow in this time period. Households in Northern Territory and Western Australia have the least amount of time on average to save for a deposit, with 8 years of savings needed for 151, and NT households 10 years of savings for 178 for Western Australians. Money editor at Finder, Richard Whitten, stated that the significant savings needed are unattainable for many first home buyers. Wage growth over the past few decades simply hasn't kept up with skyrocketing property prices, he said. Saving up enough for a deposit, especially when the cost of everything from food, energy, and insurance, not to mention rent, is rising, is a big barrier to overcome. Well, Australia's going to change. We're going to turn into, well, similar to some European countries where you've got a much larger culture of simply renting forever. Buying a home is becoming increasingly out of reach for many Aussies. Furthermore, the analysis found that households looking to save for a unit can expect slightly less time to be able to afford a deposit. For example, prospective buyers in New South Wales and Tasmania can expect 14 years on average for $258 and $165. So there we go. Let's have a chat about this one, guys. Now, this is projected into the future, years of growth. What do you reckon? I mean, here's the thing. People are saying it has to, it's a bubble. It has to tip over at one point or another, but the market can remain irrational within our entire lifespan. But also remember, we're just a small country on the edge of the world where there's demand for our resources, demand for our food, demand for our education, demand for our housing, and we're safe, Western democracy with good laws that people want to move to and put their money in. As much as we like to bitch and moan about Australia, I can't imagine that changing anytime soon. What do you reckon? The advice to young people is do the Macca's run, as in stay home as long as you can and use that to build a huge deposit and get a foot in the door, and then leverage that to get in. That's probably all we're going to be able to offer our kids. Hence why I'm building a house with so many bedrooms. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Check out HiserBim and Hiser Does. And if you're a fan and want to support us, you can on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call me if you need an architect. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.